What most people don't know is that I'm not the real Teta.
Though her future seemed hopeless and uncertain, Orly Seton was determined to succeed in America. Yes, there were language barriers and cultural differences, but none of this stopped her. Orly decided to embrace her family's Syrian culture rather than fight it. In doing so, she created something extraordinary, Teta's Mazza. Orly motivated her parents to start a business selling bite-sized Middle Eastern pastries known in Arabic as Mazza. Today, they hand-make thousands of Kibbehs each week, and Orly has the joy of seeing her parents back in the workforce with smiles on their faces, all to her credit.
My parents were born and raised in Syria, Damascus, Syria. They moved out in the 1990s, early 1990s, and they moved to Israel. They made a life out there, and then it got hard because we didn't have that much family there, so we decided to move to America.
You were actually born in Israel.
Yes, I was.
And when you're 5 years old, you and your family moved to Brooklyn.
Yes. I do remember my dad going to school and trying to learn English, and my mom also. My mom learned English from helping my brother in school, actually. It's funny. But it was always something that we had to
work on.
Yeah, work on.
Right.
I mean, seeing my father around the house was hard in itself. You know, your parents are supposed to be in work, and it wasn't something that I saw growing up.
Did you feel helpless that you were a kid and that you wanted to be able to help him, but you weren't old enough to be able to, now you can help him with the business?
100%. That's why me and my sister always tried to come up with different ideas on what to do and how to keep them busy and different job ideas.
So you have this business called Teta's Mazza. I always thought you make the Mazza, you sell it, you go deliver it, it's delicious, or you make great Mazza. Tell us the truth.
What most people don't know is that I'm not the real Teta.
And so, who is the real Teta?
My mom is.
Your mom makes the Mazza, and your dad
makes the pickles.
Makes the pickles.
This is their full-time job. December of 2018 was when it was founded. My sister hosted a Hanukkah party in her house for my entire extended family, and she prepared some trivia games. And one of the trivia games were Family Feud, and one of the questions were, who makes the best Mazza in the family? And everyone rated my mom number one. And
your grandma was in the room.
My grandma was in the room, and so my mom got all shy and embarrassed. And we got home that night, and me and my mom were just going over the night. And she goes to me, Orly, everyone really loves my Mazza, I can't believe it. And I'm like, Ima, really? I feel like we knew this already. And she said, no, I feel like this time it was different. And she said, you think we should start selling? And because she was so opposed to the idea before, the fact that it was even a question was like, I'm jumping on it. So I'm like, yeah, Ima, let's do it. And I already have ideas in my head, and I'm telling her everything. And now she's taking a step back. She's getting all nervous. I'm like, okay, let's talk to Sandra in the morning, my sister. So the next day I call Sandra. She's like, what? Mommy said that? I can't believe it. And I'm like, yeah, I'm going to find the perfect box that's going to fit the Mazza. Mommy's making Mazza today, and I have already ideas in my head. Let's see. I tell my friends, and they're motivating me. I guess she saw how dedicated I was and how I was coming up and running with a million ideas, and that definitely motivated her and convinced her to go forth with the idea. And then I told my dad, how about you make some pickles, and with every order that's placed, we'll just give a free small container on the side of pickles. And my dad also got so excited. So we started selling to just close friends in the beginning, and I remember that first Shabbat, after Shabbat, I look at my phone, and some feedback I got was, best kibbeh I ever had, or tastes exactly like my grandmother's. And also the pickles, people wanted to buy jars of pickles, and within 3 to 4 weeks there was a whole production going on in my house.
So it's really a full-time job.
Full-time job, 100%.
So we're a few weeks into the business. You made an Instagram account
I made an Instagram account.
called Kibbehs Mazza.
Yes.
How'd you come up with the name?
So we didn't want the name just to explain what we were selling. We wanted it to explain like also who's making it. So Teta is grandma in Arabic, and I think that explains my mother's Syrian heritage and how she was born and raised in Syria. And I think automatically when you hear your grandma made something, it's automatically authentic and original, and that's what we wanted the Mazza to bring out, authenticity.
She was making kibbeh in Syria.
In Syria.
And because that's as authentic as it gets.
Exactly.
Like people try to replicate Syrian cuisine, but this is real.
Yeah, handmade, real, no machines being used. Each kibbeh is literally a piece of art. I'm not exaggerating. I'm mesmerized till this day every time my mom makes a kibbeh.
Let's talk about Teta's Crunch.
That's what kickstarted our entire business, and it's what we're known for today. And we can't even explain how. In the beginning, no one believed the crunch. I would get texts like, "You're lying." And people wanted to try it out for themselves, so they ordered Mazza, they took videos, and I guess once I was posting so many videos and people saw that, like, you know, then a different friend is doing it, so now they're questioning her, and then someone else, so they're questioning them, and I guess it just...
Everyone wanted to see for themselves.
Yeah.
What drives you? What pushes you forward?
Definitely seeing my parents happy and busy, working, and of course doing something they love. And I mean, the energy in my house is just so upbeat now, and it revolves around everything. Atmosphere in my house is amazing. I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world. It's much more than just Mazza, is what I'm trying to say. Definitely.
What does that mean to you when you see your dad so happy on Friday night?
Everything. I can't even tell you. Seeing my parents happy is everything. I can't even explain it.
What advice would you give to somebody who's starting out a business?
I would say that if they're passionate about something, 100% go for it. If they're not doing it already, then I'm sorry, but I think it's just an excuse. We're so privileged to live in such a supportive community that no product, no service goes unheard. And with the world of Instagram, I think we literally have it on a silver platter. We have this very own storefront, I would call it, to promote your product. And in most cases, whatever you're trying to sell is probably out there, and you just have to give it that touch that makes it who you are. If you put your love into your product, people will feel it.